Welcome back to Freedom Hours. Andy here again. Great to have you back with us today. So, our subscribers and viewers have said to me, Andy, how have you been successful on YouTube? What have you actually done? Well, guys, the great thing is I've actually been successful across two channels now, both Freedom Hours and also Mr. Yoo-Hoo. And it's through a mixture of work, trying hard, creating good content, and really putting yourself out there. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I created two successful YouTube channels. I'm going to give you guys some tips about what you guys can do to start to create your own YouTube channel and things you can do to get yourself in place. But now across these two channels, I've got 60,000 subscribers. I work with a lot of different brands, a lot of different companies, and I'm really out there helping people. And you see, one channel, which is the Freedom Hours, which is dedicated to help people create the life they deserve and they desire. And the other one, which is Mr. Yoo-Hoo, which is a reviews-based channel, which looks at the best products that you can actually buy out there and gives you hints and tips on what to do. So I'm very passionate about it, love doing YouTube, and really happy to share these tips with you on this journey. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and look at how I create a successful YouTube channel here at Freedom in Hours. Okay, to start with, so why did I actually start a YouTube channel? Well, to be honest, I had a number of different businesses of creating a lot of income. And when I started Freedom in Hours, I really wanted to start to put back to society, start to give people different options. So it really started with me setting up a camera, doing some talking, doing some videos, just about how I can help people. And if you see, one of my earlier videos was why you should stop watching the news and social media, which actually went really, really well. And from there, I built a brand up. You see, again, in Freedom Hours, it's how you can make differences in your life with little things you do each and every day. You see, we've all been taught that it's a quick win, or you have to work at a job all your life. And you don't actually have to. It's little things you do in each and every day. So what I did is I learned a lot about what successful YouTube channels did. So there's a lot of information online about what you can do to actually create it. Now, similar to Mr. Yoo-Hoo, you need to start to think about who your target audience is going to be. You've got to start to think about what your actual brand is. So in my case, the brand for Freedom in Hours is anyone that's creating better in their life. So I built the Freedom Hours brand around that. I built the brand first, and then I started to build the stories around what helped me in life. And I kind of centered it around my mentor, John, that helped me. So I started with that. Now, another thing you could do is, and I also did that with Mr. Yoo-Hoo as well. So there are other sites as well. So TubeBuddy I use. And now TubeBuddy actually allows you to put search terms in there, and it lets you know whether or not it's popular on YouTube. So, for example, last video, why does crypto price change so much? Came up as excellent on there. So I take my ideas, put the search fields on there and find out where there is a demand for searches, where the demand is for people to actually watch it. I then go and build the content on that. So the second thing is you need to have a plan behind your videos. So a lot of people just sit there, jump on videos talking, but it needs to be structured. It needs to have an intro, middle and an end. So, and you need to be very, very clear about what you're trying to target with your audience. So in today's video, for example, talking about the two YouTube channels, I don't know if you noticed, but I did a summary at the start about what was going to actually happen. I talked about the key points I was going to discuss, and then I go through it in each detail, and I'm going to go with a conclusion at the end. So it's very, very important. Again, the great thing with something like TubeBuddy as well, it gives you different search terms as well that makes it up. So you put these search terms into the video, which really, really helps you. So that's the first point. So finding a market that you want to target, creating a brand around that, having a message, and having the videos that kind of link towards that message. You see, subscribers want to have, for example, Freedom Hours, Mr. Yoo-Hoo, they want to have a similar content. So when they subscribe, and thank you guys for subscribing, you want to have a similar message coming through all your videos. So Freedom Hours, we're very, very careful to keep the message going, to keep the branding going, because people like to have consistency. And that's what we're building here. So good message, consistency. I guess the second point as well is because YouTube is such a big search engine, it can take a while to start to get viewers, but you don't need to worry about it. Some people say you need to go and post, 3 to 4 times a week. Because I do such high quality content across two channels, I don't have the time to post 3 or 4 times a week. But when I do post, I make sure the production quality is high. So what do you mean by high production quality? Well, you don't want to be watching a backyard video with a shaky camera, do you? Well, not on my channels anyway. You want a video that's well presented, well constructed and well done. So I have lighting equipment, I have background equipment, I have great camera in place, microphones, very, very good editing software that I use. So I make sure that the video quality is quite high. And I don't know if you guys see my Mr. Yoo-Hoo channel as well. I always make sure the products are very, very well presented, very, very well designed. But the other thing with Mr. Yoo as well is I make sure I don't go and do products that I don't believe in. So I do have suppliers send me products. If I'm not happy with it, I send them back to them. I don't want to do products that I recommend. I think that's very, very important. I guess in Freedom in Hours, similar kind of messages. I want to improve people as well. So it's not all about trying to give excuses for things or complain about things, but it's all trying about building a vision for people in their lives. So have good production quality, have a good storyline, have a good purpose, but remember, you may need to do a lot of work to do it. See, with YouTube, you can't really control the algorithm necessarily. You can just do the things that adds up to it as well. So I found posting once a week seemed to help. My videos started to appear, as you can see probably in my view count, started quite slow and then build over time. So Mr. Yoo has had about 1.4 million views so far. It gets about 20,000 impressions a day. Similar to Freedom in Hours as well, we've done really well. So that's what you need to do. Have a good description in your YouTube videos as well to explain it. The YouTube algorithm works as a search engine. So it actually goes through the description and finds all the different words that you need to use to be able to put into the video. It's very, very important. But the second thing as well is be careful you don't use copyrighted material too. So try and use your own material wherever possible. You can comment on other people's videos, but be very careful with that and don't use music that's not copyrighted. So YouTube has an audio library that you can use. Just type in on your channel YouTube audio library and it gives you songs and music that you can use, which is really, really good. I guess the fourth way is make sure it's informative or interesting. You see, people don't have to keep on watching your channel. They need to be, interested. So you know a lot of TV channels about how they flick all different images and different things all at once. So I don't do that as much, but that's a way they keep interest for people on their videos. So make sure people keep focused on the channel, focus on what they're doing. It helps. So if you have a quick look now, so I'll show you two things. So here's Freedom in Hours. As you can see, I've got the branding, the logo, the display. All my thumbnails follow a similar process. Jump across to Mr. Yoo as well. Again, there's the branding, there's a name, and see the thumbnails? They all flow to a certain idea, to a certain point. And you can also see they're very professional and they attract people's attention. Now, I'm looking maybe at outsourcing the thumbnails to other people. I do it myself at the moment, but I love public speaking. And I guess the other way about that is talking to a camera. I was actually nervous when I started doing it. I've done a lot of public speaking in the past, but actually talking to people on a camera was actually quite nerve-wracking when I first did it. So, I did a lot of practicing. I did a lot of practicing with friends, but it took a lot to get me used to it. And I guess, talking to a camera, now it's just, I don't even think about it. It's like just doing that. But when I first did it, it was quite nerve-wracking. So I suggest you guys practice it. Maybe get some help with public speaking. I've done public speaking all my life, so I really enjoy it. And you guys can check some of my seminars out soon. But yeah, it's very, very important. So there's some tips so far for YouTube. Now, finally, when you actually do a video and upload it, you need to have a good thumbnail. Now, why is a good thumbnail? Well, YouTube uses a couple of things that goes into its algorithm. So it uses click-through rate. It's the amount of times you actually click through an image. It also uses number of views. So number of views you got in a video. It also uses view time. So amount of time you actually spend watching a video each time. It also then uses how much time people spend on YouTube after watching your video and how relevant it is to other topics. It then looks at likes, it looks at comments, it looks at shares across social media. So all these things YouTube looks at, and very often in the first day, but first hour, generally sets how popular the video is going to be. So the YouTube algorithm picks it up, it runs with it as well. Now the great thing with YouTube is it also does YouTube Shorts, so you can take your videos, cut them into shorts, and it also further pushes out the message out there and creates a lot more. So, but with the YouTube algorithm, you want people clicking on it. So you want a thumbnail that really sticks out. So I use thumbnail software called Snapper. I use it at the moment. I find works really, really well. I also use Filmora to edit my videos too. That works quite well as an editing software. It does take a while because I try and do lots of different shots, but it works very, very well. But look online, find some ideas for your thumbnails. Also reach out to me if you want some ideas about what would be good thumbnails to use in your video. But also, as you can see here, I've got my branding. So I use this branding from Printify. I also set up a Printify business, which you can see in a video just here. Printify works really, really well, but if people see you've got a brand, they attach to your video, and they also attach to what you're doing, it really builds up who you are. And I've also got a website for Freedom Hours, and also got a website for Mr. Yoo as well, so I'm actually building a ecosystem. Now, we'll talk in future videos about how you can make money from your YouTube channel. We'll go into affiliate links, Google advertising, sponsorships. But for now, I just want to talk about how to create a good YouTube channel. So, guys, what I suggest is reach out to me if you're looking at doing a YouTube channel. If you want any ideas about how to set it up, I'm more than happy to help. We've all been there. We all started from scratch, and I'm hoping in the next year to get to 100,000 subscribers through both my channels, because I'm really pumped up. And at the moment this video is going right across the world, so wherever you're sitting, whether you're on transport, sitting in your bedroom, sitting there at work, on the beach, on a volcano, on a cruise ship, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really hope these videos help you. But anyway, make sure you let me know what you think of the video if you've got a YouTube channel, and also reach out to me if you like looking at a partnership as well. I love to do collaborations. Anyway, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us here at Freedom in Hours.